In the 19th century, painters based in and around Tanjavur created elaborate sets of paintings featuring a range of subjects, including dancers. These works are known as company paintings, and there was quite an outpouring of them during this time. In today's episode, I'll briefly explore how Chinnamelam was depicted in these paintings. In 19th century Tanjavur, the Chinnamelam, featuring a dancer and her musicians, performed in palace darbars, suraglios and other spaces. In most of these paintings, the Melam is shown with a dancer and 4 musicians, all facing the viewer. There are a few exceptions, such as this well-known painting featuring a larger group of dancers and musicians. When I discussed this picture back in the 1990s with the late iconic Nattuvanar Tanjavur Kittappa, a descendant of the Tanjore Quartet, he found it to be the most precise portrayal of Chinnamelam. As you can see, the dancer, dressed in pink, is positioned at the front, followed by her musicians. The Nattuvanars, typically an elder with an apprentice, lead the performance, playing the cymbals and singing. Behind them are the flautist, violinist, and percussionist or mirdangam player, who sometimes joins in the singing. A bagpipe player, 2 additional dancers who also take part in the singing, and an older woman at the back complete the ensemble. The older woman is possibly the mother of the dancer in the pink sari. The multiple singing voices served a practical purpose, to amplify the sound and ensure it reached everyone in the darbar. Even the dancer would sometimes pause her performance to sing and highlight a section of the poetry, usually in the Annu Pallavi or second stanza of a Varnam or another song, where the name of the king or god would appear in the lyrics. This was of course long before the invention of the microphone for sound amplification. Microphones began to be used in the early decades of the 20th century and became more widespread later. During this period, the multiple singing voices in Chinnamelam were gradually reduced to what is now standard: 1 singer supported by the violin, flute, and sometimes the veena. However, many Nattuvanar Melams continued to feature 2 singers, with the Nattuvanar also singing to enhance the overall sound. An interesting depiction of the Chinnamelam appears in this exquisite company painting, part of a collection of gouache miniatures made available by the Lindenau-Museum in Altenburg, Germany. This collection was created in the early 19th century and remains in remarkably good condition. This exceptional piece likely represents the wedding of Maharaja Serfoji and his second queen, Avu Bai, in 1801 at the Tanjavur court. We see the royal couple seated on the musnud, dressed in golden robes, possibly to highlight their royal status. On either side are attendants of the queen. Priests are seated in front of them, while court officials, ministers, and perhaps male family members line the sides. Behind them, on both sides, is the Melam. From a pictorial perspective, the most striking detail is the Chinnamelam. 3 dancers and their musicians are flanked by sepoys. What makes this depiction unique is that the dancers are shown from the back, facing the royal couple as they perform, while the musicians, interestingly, still face the viewer. This viewpoint offers a rare perspective, as most company paintings depict both the dancer and musicians facing the viewer.